The more humble you become, the happier you are instantaneously. So what is humility? Again, humility is your willingness to be very malleable in how you see things. Now, this is one of the hardest things to do for human beings, to be malleable in the way that you see things, to be non-insistent upon the ways that you are taught to think and believe. When something does not feel good, can you change the way you see something? Sure you can, but do you want to? What is the sacrifice there? Why is it so hard to let go of a way of seeing that we've cultivated for so long that brings us nothing but misery, contraction, illness, and bad reflections? And it's contracting us to the point where it's pinching us off from our natural sense of self-realization and expansiveness and freedom and unaffectedness and empowerment. All those things that we seek through meditation, through study, through trying, through talking with other people that are also seekers. Why is it so hard to not simply change the way we see something until we arrive at a vibrational perspective, a vibrational attitude that is so endowed with those true qualities of our being that we instantaneously feel amazing? It's very easy, mechanically speaking. It's always parallel to where you're at. The highest perspective and the lowest perspective, the most expansive in alignment perspective, and the gravest misunderstood perspective, ignorant perspective, coexist right next to each other, within each other even, parallel to each other. There is no mechanical or space-time or other people caused barrier between you and your instant happiness right at this very second. And again, happiness, to some of you that might mean, well, not as much perhaps, as enlightenment, as self-realization, as the end of all perception, as whatever you might call all these things. Fancy words, nonsense. But you see, happiness will be the result. So if you can start with the result, you'll most definitely gain the means. You cannot get to the result through means. That's an illusion mankind has also not really gotten yet. You actually get to the means through the result. The means come after the result, not before. Think about that. I will not explain it. But why is it hard? When you feel really bad because you're thinking in a way that's not true, and your higher intelligence is letting you know you're incorrectly perceiving something. Why is it so hard for us, human beings, to then simply change the way we see it until it feels good? What comes up when you do that? What judgments come up? I already addressed one last night. I'm being inauthentic because 1 second ago I was saying this. And now, from this point of view, it doesn't seem true at all, so I'm going to say something else. I do not want to be perceived as inconsistent to my fellow human beings, so I continue to be miserable for the sake of seemingly being authentic. But again, authenticity has nothing to do with consistency. Authenticity has everything to do with innocence, and innocence has everything to do with chasing the feeling good state, the feeling connected state, no matter what it takes. As long as you maintain your integrity and respect towards other beings, you're good to go. All means are yours. You can shift around as you please. Why is it so hard? Let's say that that's not your point of view about the inconsistency, meaning inauthenticity. Let's say that's not an issue for you. What else could it be? Here you are feeling bad. Why do you feel bad? Because you're connected. If you were not connected, you would not be able to feel bad. It is the difference between your personal self and your true self that you are feeling as feeling bad. You can only feel that distance if you're connected. If you're snapped off completely of your alignment, you would not be able to feel anything. The only way you can feel something is by distancing yourself or decreasing the distance between yourself and your true self, which is your natural teacher. It is the most efficient, effortless, direct path to any state of self-realization and any state of self-actualization or empowerment. Why is it so hard? Let's say that you've accepted the fact that authenticity means that you're actually chasing the feel-good perspectives, the perspectives that make you feel connected, amazing, peaceful, satisfied, empowered, expensive, loving, giving, abundant. Let's say you believe that means authenticity. What else could be blocking you from simply shifting from a bad feeling perspective to another one? There must be another belief somewhere in your being that suggests that if you were to simply shift instead of process your way through, simply shift, something bad would happen. How will other people perceive me is one of the major ones. What will other people think? How would mommy and daddy judge this behavior? Does this fit into the system that I was taught as a kid? This is good, this is bad. So we've generated our own system of what's good and what's bad, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what will be loved and rewarded, and what will be punished and not loved. Now that system does not completely match up with the universal system of alignment. So sometimes, to shift into alignment, it requires for us to do something or become something that in the moral code of mankind might not look like the most respectful thing in the world. So what? As long as you are not infringing upon anyone's free will, by the laws of the cosmic moral code, it is your creation. It is your existence. It is your choice to do with your thoughts and your mind and your body what you will, as long as those actions do not infringe upon anyone's free will. Now, when you move left when someone else wants you to move right, in the eyes of life, that's not an immoral decision to go left anyway, essentially speaking. It is up to them how they want to feel about you moving left, while they desire you to move right. Now, so often we have encapsulated ourselves in this prison of responsibility to how other people feel, how other people think, how other people judge. If we could let go of this, then we could still respect and understand where they're coming from, and we could still, at times, ease their way into understanding if that feels relevant and if they're open to that. But it does give us permission to ultimately realize what our free will consists of and what their free will consists of, and where these two end, where they don't meet. Does that make sense? As a rough template for understanding the moral code of the universe, which is each being chooses how they think, how they feel, therefore, and what they do with their bodies. Does that make sense? It's that simple. That's the moral code. If you can respect that free will in other beings and let go of the belief that we're often taught from lack that says that I need to deprive someone else of their free will and what they desire in order to achieve my free will and what I desire. That's the core mistake of any murderer, rapist, thief, whatever you will. It is the idea that they cannot empower themselves, that they cannot think and feel and do what they want to think, feel, and do without other people sacrificing some of their own desires. As long as you have that clear, again, like I said, you're free to roam this planet like Adam and Eve and do whatever the hell you desire, whatever the heaven you desire. Apologies.